welcome back to my channel. If you are new, then please hit that subscribe button because I do post videos every 2 weeks or every other week, or at least try to. It's supposed to be on a Sunday like today, but that doesn't always work out. Anyway, welcome back. So if you didn't see my video last week, I sort of started this series idea that I had of sort of helping you guys out with planning your vacation videos. I am not in the position at the moment where I am financially able to start planning a Walt Disney World holiday, as if you didn't know, I am moving down to London as I live in the UK. And that is a big move for me and has consequently wiped out all the money that I ever had in my life. So I am in no position at the moment to be planning a Walt Disney World trip. And whilst I still watch plenty of YouTube videos, specifically the Tim Tracker, which really makes me want to go back constantly, I thought, okay, well, I'll just live vicariously through the people that are able to plan holidays. So I thought, with the knowledge that I have, I would try and help you guys out to make sure that no matter how long you have whilst you're there, that you make the most of every single day. So, with regards to last week's video, I did a big planning video on how to ride all the rides in Magic Kingdom in one day. And if you hadn't guessed, that is a particularly tiring day. It starts right at the beginning when the park opens, and when the park closes, you're there rushing around constantly. And for that reason, the parks, no matter how long you're there for, can be particularly tiring, especially adding in the heat and the fact that you are walking absolute miles. I think you do sort of like 60 odd miles within a week or something in terms of walking. It's crazy. And with that being said, therefore I recommend, and definitely do this every time I go, that you have a lazy day. Florida has so much to offer, and this doesn't just include the theme parks. There is plenty of shopping. iDrive has a multitude of different things such as Dave & Buster's, the arcade place, and the Ripley's Believe It or Not museums, and it has the coastline, which therefore means that there are ample beaches for you to explore. And this sort of brings me into the thing that I like to do most on my sort of relaxing days off, and that is spend as much time as possible in the pool. Whilst I love Florida's weather, I'm not brilliant at just sitting and baking in the sun, and therefore the pool or water parks are the best of both worlds. I get to catch a tan by being in the water, but also stay cool and have fun splashing around. So there are a number of opportunities here for you and different ideas that you could potentially involve yourself with. For starters, if you are staying at a resort or hotel outside of the property or on property, you might have the opportunity to spend some time at their pool. This is a great way of not spending any money and just having a really relaxing day. You can get up later because you're already at the resort. You can have a very leisurely breakfast, and then you can just make your way to the pool. And especially if you're staying on resort, obviously a lot of those guests will be at the parks as well, so it does mean that the pools aren't as busy. And some of the resorts, especially those higher priced ones, do have some amazing pools. And so this week's video, I am going to show you a little bit of this. I'm actually sort of collaborating here with my sister. She took quite a bit of footage while she was there in September 2016 of her lazy days by the pool. So this first one is her and her boyfriend Chris, and they stayed at Coronado Springs, I do believe. And so this is them just hanging out by the pool, which had a nice slide. So enjoy! one of the things that you can do is hang by the poolside all day and then potentially head into the parks in an evening if you're missing that thrill, or even just head to Disney Springs or somewhere off property to enjoy all that Florida has to offer. For me personally, one of the things I absolutely love to do is head to the water parks. Specifically talking about Disney here, they have two water parks, Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon. And for me, I don't know if you have seen my previous vlogs of whilst I was at the water parks last year, but Typhoon Lagoon is my definite #1 favourite, partially because of the theming but also because of the rides involved. And that's actually what I'm going to show you now. So Rebecca and Chris also went to Typhoon Lagoon as it's also their favourite water park, and this footage here is just showing you a little bit of what the park has to offer and also the amazing rides, particularly Crush and Gusher, which is 3 slides each that are, there's 2 that are specifically for single riders, so you don't have to have a partner, which I certainly did quite a few times, and one of them you have to have 2 people in a dinghy at any one time. So there's 3 slides for you to choose from, and it's all brilliantly themed behind like a banana factory or like some form of fruit factory, so the little dinghies that you sit in actually have like the different fruits and things that they were supplying, so it's all very well themed, but it's super fun, so check that out. As you can see, it's great fun being in the water park, and especially riding some of those rides. Blizzard Beach does have some really awesome rides as well, one of which being one of their famous is their Summit Plummet, which is literally just a straight down drop for you to just slide on down. I personally haven't done that one, but at these particular parks I really enjoy the racing ones. At Typhoon Lagoon they do have a racing one that myself and Chris went on last time we were both there, and had a race down there. They're great fun, so I highly recommend heading to Typhoon Lagoon for some of their rides. And indeed, there are now different parks in Florida, such as Aquatica, which is part of SeaWorld, and also the new Volcano Bay, which is at Universal Studios. And I haven't personally been myself, but from the footage that I have seen and from the comments that I have seen, people are absolutely loving that park, and it is nearly trumping Typhoon Lagoon in terms of its theming. So I highly recommend checking out both, but for this video I'm just looking at Typhoon Lagoon because I'm focusing on Disney itself, as I don't trek to Universal quite as much as Disney. So, in keeping with Typhoon Lagoon, another reason that I absolutely love this park is because of their lazy river. So as I said, I'm not a big fan of sitting and baking in the sun, but sometimes it can get tiring if you are riding some of their rides, as you might have to walk around to get to them, and the floor is particularly hot, especially when you're barefooted. So one of the things that I really enjoy doing that just gives me a good half an hour to chill out, but that doesn't mean I have to sit on a sunbed baking in the heat, is by heading into their lazy river. And this one I absolutely love. There's plenty of dinghies available. You can ride in little double ones or singles, or you can even just swim in it on your own. And they do have little waterfalls that have freezing cold water just in case you do fall asleep as you're going around, so that wakes you back up, so that you don't get sunburnt. So that's the next bit of footage that I have, just the guys heading around the lazy river. Okay, so with Typhoon Lagoon, they have so many great rides. They have the awesome lazy river. They have some pretty good food options. I definitely recommend getting the ice cream. And the last thing that really makes this park for me and definitely trumps it from Blizzard Beach is their wave pool. This is sort of a unique thing that a lot of the other parks do not have, and that is big force waves coming at you as opposed to just the sort of easy, like, wavy ones. I don't really know how to describe it. Typhoon Lagoon has this amazing wave pool. It can get very crowded, although if you go in September, like Rebecca and Chris did, the number of people in the park is seriously reduced, and therefore it's not quite as crowded, because that is one thing that you do have to watch out for when you're at Typhoon Lagoon's wave pool, that you need to make sure you're not bumping into people. I've had so many kids just smack into the back of me because they've been stood too close to me. So it definitely happens, and it's something to watch out for. Having said that, it is still one of my favourite things to do at Typhoon Lagoon, and it is the first thing that I head into every time I go. So this is some footage of the guys hanging out in the wave pool and catching some big waves. footage I have of them at Typhoon Lagoon, but the purpose of this video was just to suggest different ways of spending time at Walt Disney World without having to just ride rides. And as I said right at the beginning of this video, I really do recommend that you spend some time having relaxing days to recuperate, and times where you don't have to get up at 6 AM just so that you can get to the park for opening, because it can get extremely tiring, and especially if you have 2 weeks, you have ample time to get around all the parks, so please take lazy days off. And this could include things like shopping. Florida has Florida Mall and Millennium Mall, which both are amazing for shopping. I highly recommend going to them if you have the opportunity. But it really is just a way of spending some time, enjoying your holiday without actually rushing around like a madhead. And for me, it is definitely heading to Typhoon Lagoon at Walt Disney World for my relaxing days off. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment if you did and give it a like, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye!